You open your phone for the 100th time today. Nothing new happened, no message, no notification. You just felt the itch to check, and you checked, and now you're scrolling anyway. Why? The easy answer is boredom. But the real answer is far stranger. Your brain is running a script that was written millions of years before phones existed, and that script has a name. Scientists call it the Coolidge Effect. It explains why new things grab you so hard and why familiar things start to feel invisible. It explains your phone. It explains your relationships. It might even explain why you can't finish a TV show without checking what else is on. The story behind the name is almost funny. In the 1920s, President Calvin Coolidge and his wife toured a farm. Mrs. Coolidge noticed a rooster mating repeatedly and asked the farmer to point that out to the president. When Coolidge heard, he asked one question. "Same hen every time?" "No," the farmer said. "A different one each time." Coolidge replied, "Tell that to Mrs. Coolidge. It's a joke." But researchers later used it to name something very real. In the 1950s, biologist Frank Beach studied male rats that had, by every measure, lost interest in mating, exhausted, done. Then he introduced a new female. The response came back almost instantly, not because the rat had more energy, because the object was new. This wasn't limited to rats. Similar patterns showed up across mammals, from cattle to primates. Novelty itself was acting like a switch. Flip it, and a system that looked completely shut down turned back on. Here's the part that matters for you. Your brain doesn't reserve the switch for mating. It uses the same machinery for almost everything you find rewarding. Deep in your brain sits a chemical called dopamine. People call it the pleasure chemical, but that's not quite right. Dopamine isn't about pleasure, it's about prediction. It spikes when something is new, uncertain, or better than expected. It quiets down once that thing becomes familiar, once your brain has already mapped it out and there's nothing left to predict. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz showed this directly in the 1990s. He tracked dopamine neurons in monkeys as they learned to expect a reward after a signal. At first, the reward itself caused a huge dopamine spike, but once the monkeys learned the pattern, the spike moved. It stopped firing for the reward and started firing for the signal that predicted it. Give the reward with no warning, and the spike came roaring back. Predictability was the real off switch. Novelty was the real trigger. Now think about your phone again. Every app on it is engineered around this exact mechanism. Every scroll offers a small, unpredictable chance of something new, a message, a like, a strange video you didn't expect. Researcher Natasha Schull spent years studying casino slot machine design and found the same principle at the center of it. Uncertainty, delivered in small, unpredictable bursts, keeps a brain checking far longer than certainty ever could. Your phone isn't a slot machine by accident. It's built on the same findings Schultz's monkeys demonstrated decades earlier. But this isn't really about technology. Technology just found the switch that was already there. Go back further, long before casinos, long before phones, even long before farms with roosters. Your ancestors survived by noticing what was new. A new sound in the grass, a new berry on a bush they'd never seen fruit before, a new water source after a drought. The old familiar parts of the environment had already been checked, already mapped, already understood. There was no survival value in re-noticing them constantly, but the new thing might be food, or a predator, or an opportunity that wouldn't come twice. A brain that snapped to attention for novelty and quieted down, for the familiar was a brain that survived. This is why the same circuitry got repurposed for finding mates too. A new mate meant new genetic combinations, a wider chance of healthy offspring, an evolutionary bet spread across more possibilities. The Coolidge Effect wasn't a glitch, it was a feature, tuned over millions of years, long before anyone was choosing what to swipe on. So when your interest in something fades, an old hobby, a relationship, even a familiar meal, that's not proof something is wrong with it. It's often just your dopamine system doing exactly what it evolved to do. It mapped the pattern. It found no more prediction error left to chase. Quietly, it moved on to scanning for the next unknown. Understanding this doesn't mean you're a slave to it. Psychologists have found that novelty can be manufactured without switching partners, jobs, or hobbies. Couples who deliberately try new activities together report renewed attraction, not because the person changed, but because the activity reintroduced uncertainty. New restaurant, new hike, new conversation topic. The dopamine spike doesn't care. Whether the novelty comes from a new person or a new experience with the same one. It only cares that something wasn't fully predictable, which brings you back to your phone, sitting there, still glowing, still promising something you haven't seen yet. You don't check it because you're weak, or bored, or addicted in some moral sense. You check it because a rooster in the 1920s, a rat in a 1950s lab, and a monkey in Wolfram Schultz's experiment all revealed the same wiring sitting quietly behind your own eyes. Novelty is the switch. It always has been. You open your phone for the 100th time today, and this time you notice what's actually happening. Not boredom, not weakness. Just a very old brain, doing exactly what it was built to do. Still hunting for the next new thing in a world it no longer needs to survive. Thanks for watching. You can also check out my other videos.